Hello and welcome to the show before the show. That's right, this is the pre-show for the 2022 Canadian Game Awards. We're going to be talking about all the nominees as much as we can to fit in in half an hour. But we're gonna have some great fun along the way, and we're excited because we're about to be able to honor some amazing Canadian talent. If you don't know who we are, well, I'm going to introduce us. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor. I am a accessibility advocate, Twitch ambassador, content creator, and also one of the co-hosts of Squad. And I've got my talented, the most beautiful, the most amazing, the most courageous, I don't know why I threw that one in there, and the most Canadian hosts around. Hello to my friends, Camille, Caboose, Steve. Why don't you introduce yourself? Steve, why don't you go? Tell the world who you are.
Yeah, thank you. Steve Akvari, freelance writer in the industry, also, host of Squad as well. I'll pass it on to Camille, maybe.
Hello. Well, firstly, thank you, Steve S., for that amazing intro. You have a radio voice. I love it. But yes, as Steve mentioned, I am Camille, and I am a host in the world of esports and obviously gaming, hence why I'm here. But I also get to chat with these fellows every week on Squad and have a good time. And who always brings the hottest takes to our conversations? Well, that would be Caboose.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks again to Steve S. for that introduction. Like, Steve, can I just take you everywhere I go so that you can just introduce me like that to everyone?
I'll fit in your pocket. It's fine. It's great.
I'm Caboose Aaron. I'm a content creator. I make videos on YouTube and Twitch covering comic book games and geek culture. I'm also one of the hosts of Squad as well, and help celebrate all these amazing Canadians and the incredible games and the things that they have done over the last year.
Exactly. And actually, I'm going to throw we didn't discuss this before, but I'm going to throw a tiny little bit of a curveball. And I want to be able to talk a tiny bit about this because obviously last year we had some amazing games come out from everything from AAA to the indie side under probably one of the worst circumstances you could ever think of when it comes to getting games out in the industry, and that is the pandemic. Of course, this is year 3,000. I don't know, whatever year we're in of COVID. I wanted to have a discussion here. What are your thoughts on the games that were like the work that's been able to put out from these Canadian studios just within the past year, along with working from home and working remote? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I'd love to jump into that quickly because right now, given my circumstances, the fact that I've had to scramble and do everything remotely, I can only imagine. This is just for the Canadian Game Awards to get on camera and to have my microphone set up and everything for the people at home. I can only imagine what it's like for developers to make sure that they have full rigs ready to go at home to help develop these games, getting on Zoom calls with their colleagues to make sure that everything's running smoothly. The fact that we're still getting games coming out in as good of a shape as they are is something that I feel should be unanimously celebrated, and something that I cannot give any of the nominees today praise enough. It's incredible what they've been able to accomplish given the circumstances.
Yeah, it's no shortage of a miracle that we're still actively able to play games on a daily basis and see games from our backyard be able to be released. I mean, I've personally spoken to a number of developers, Canadian specific developers, and whether it is, that transition from working in an office to working at home, bringing over all their equipment and getting set up, onboarding new clients or new employees and having them envelop that culture, envelop a studio's culture is so important and difficult for someone or a studio working remotely. So the fact that, we'll go through some of these incredible games. The fact that these even came out it's
surprising.
Shout out to all of those studios because it's remarkable.
Yeah, to all the studios and all the developers, because both of you mentioned, it's just remarkable with all of the hurdles that, all these developers had to face in order to put out some great games that we got to enjoy and that helped us as gamers through the pandemic and coping with being at home a lot more than we're used to, as well as for, you know, the personalities and the individuals like the devs and the esports personalities, the streamers. There's a lot on the, you know, mental health side and dealing with sticking at home and being able to be a point where your audience could tune in and you could provide that relief as well. Like, just props to everybody for making huge efforts, and we're just so thankful that we're actually here today to celebrate everyone in the industry.
Agreed. I think definitely, because what the developers and studios and the creators and the athletes, what they're able to do over the course of this past few years with the pandemic is, as you said, is nothing short of a miracle. You were able to provide amazing hours of entertainment to the rest of us who are at home and stuck at home, and you gave us like worlds we could escape to and have fun in, and just kind of release some of that just kind of escape from what the world is today. And the fact that we're here today to be able to honor you as creators, as developers, is amazing, and I'm so glad that we get to sort of like take the time, and I wish we're all in person. I would give everyone a standing ovation for the work that they've done, but we'll hopefully soon we can be all in the same room and be able to acknowledge that. But speaking of acknowledging, we're going to be talking about some of the nominees in some of the different categories. We fortunately can't go through all of them. There's about 21 of them, and we only have about half an hour. So we're going to be focusing on the year accolades, kind of like the best of the best when it comes to the PC games, console games, mobile games, VR games, and then like studios and all that stuff. So I kind of want to let's break this down into this. So obviously, with a lot of these categories, we kind of have some repeats in here, but let's just go through each of them. So best PC game. The nominees we have in there are Age of Empires 4, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour Viking Age, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and one that took, I'd say, everyone by surprise last year, Inscription. What is everyone's thoughts on this category and the games that are nominated?
I feel like we need to start off with Stevie, because you actually were part of the selection committee for the Canadian Game Awards.
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess to give everyone watching at home a little peek behind the curtain, I was part of the judging committee this year, once again, which was a great honor to be alongside some of the great voices of the industry, the Canadian industry. But to kind of give you guys some transparency here, it is a lengthy process to go through all, like we said, there's so many great games, so many great creators' voices. So to whittle those down and kind of select a winner is a difficult process. But to kind of walk you guys through it, there was the selection committee. They went through and parsed through all the applicants, and then basically came out with 21 categories, 5 nominations for each category. That was then passed on to myself and the rest of the judging committee, which we then took well over a month to kind of go through, play the games, research the creators, kind of look into their content and what impact they had on the industry, and then come out with our own individual selections. I mean, of course, maintaining a non-biased perspective with all of that. Anyone with a conflict of interest had to refrain from voting in a specific category. So, for instance, while I'm incredibly proud to see our very own Camille nominated for Best Esports Host, Best Personality, sorry, I couldn't cast a vote. So, but that being said, yeah, I guess just to kick things off and go through the best PC game. Taking off my judging cap and putting on my for fun hat, whenever I think of best PC or just PC in general, my brain just goes to Age of Empires. That is a seminal PC game, so that's the one I default to. What Age of Empires 4 did was nothing short of incredible. It was a very, very well developed game, and I'll pass it on to you guys. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Age of Empires 4 is kind of like, when I think PC, I think that game.
That's what I was gonna say.
But then I do like the idea of that surprise, because PC games especially, I feel like when it comes to award shows or being recognized, sometimes the games that are the surprising ones, like Inscription, are the ones that kind of steal the show. And it was so well received and kind of came out of left field. No one expected it to do as well as it did. So I'm going to go Inscription.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about surprises, I feel like one of the more pleasant surprises of last year when it comes to games that people didn't have the highest expectations of is Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that like with the content that I cover, I'm into the geek culture and I'm into the Marvel stuff, so it sounds like I'm leaning towards that bias. But truly, even myself, you know, given if we want to talk about given the Avengers game and the fact that it was under that Square Enix umbrella, some people were going into the Guardians of the Galaxy game thinking like, is this going to be another repeat of what we've already experienced? And instead we got this incredibly immersive game with a really fleshed out story and some great writing and some good characters. And it's very funny, it's very emotional, and it has an incredible soundtrack. I know it's not traditionally what you think of when you're talking about PC games, but considering its nomination and considering that, like something like Inscription, it was such a pleasant surprise, I feel like that's the game that we can't really count out in this race.
Yeah, I would. I mean, like that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of great games in this list, and 100%. But yeah, I think when I think of PC games, I would definitely, as much as I like, hey, I love Guardians. I love the 100%. And I agree with you, Caboose, on that one. I think I'm going to also have to throw in for Age of Empires 4. Now, by the way, all of our opinions are definitely do not reflect of what potentially could be winning tonight. We're just going to say this. This is our own opinions.
It's all for
PSA.
Fun. Yeah.
It's all for fun, yes. But I would have to go with Empire. Like the fact that like, it took us. It's been a long time since we had an Age of Empires game, and the fact that it came out and it is such a great game. I mean, the fact that I think that I loved about it as well is that there was a lot of history that you learned in that game, along with having fun, and that's something that I actually really enjoyed in playing. But I mean, like you can't go wrong with the nominees on this list. And also, I guess speaking of other nominees, like great nominees, let's jump to best console game, because there's some really great games in here too, and where you got a repeat of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. We have Far Cry 6. We have again Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour Viking Age, FIFA 22, and Echo Generation. Camille, I'm going to go to you. What are your thoughts on this list right here? Are you were you wanting to be able to jump into Far Cry 6 and live out your kind of guerrilla lifestyle, or were you wanting to be able to live your life as a football star?
Definitely, I wish I was a football star, but not that coordinated, unfortunately, when it comes to soccer games. But I will say, like, for me, this is a tough one because it's definitely between Far Cry 6 and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think I do have to go for the game that really surprised me with its narrative, with its soundtrack, just the flow of it and giving a different perspective of how to approach a superhero game. And I'm going with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe a bit biased too, now that I think about it, Caboose, because I do tend to lean for the nerdier geek culture choices. But it was just such a good experience that made me laugh, made me cry at certain points as well. I was really invested in the story here that I can't not choose it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things because a lot of people as well, if you put aside whatever our expectations were given the Avengers game, a lot of people as well were looking at this like, is this just going to be a clone of the movies? You know, are they going to do anything new here? And that's another thing that was, once again, pleasantly surprising about Guardians of the Galaxy, is that it was a completely fresh take on the characters. Yeah, maybe visually it looks a little similar to the films, but the way that the characters interact, and especially the story and the narrative and the way that they were trying to drive that narrative forward, it's something like we've never seen before. It is a completely original, unique take on the Guardians, and it's something I couldn't praise Eidos Montreal enough. Far Cry 6 as well, I think, is something that a lot of people should be thinking about when it comes to best console game in this category specifically. It feels like it's a two-legged race. Not that, you know, we don't know. This is all just our opinions, but you know, I feel like for me, it would be between Far Cry 6 and Guardians of the Galaxy, as those are two pretty high quality games.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Eidos Montreal came in with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was an absolute delight for me. I was not expecting for myself to fall in love with that game as much as I did. And it kind of married both James Gunn's vision with the comics as well. They took kind of the best of both worlds, put it into something original, put it into a blender, and came out with this. And I mean, I went into it thinking, you know, I love all these characters for their own right, whether it's big screen or on paper, but I fell in love with these characters, like the ones I was playing with and everything. And I am 100% in for more. So for me, jumping in on Xbox and playing it, and it felt so great, the gameplay specifically, yeah, I would have to go for that as well. But I do want to give a shout out to Far Cry 6 as well, you know, made in Toronto, along with Echo Generation as well. But, you know, I got to give it up for those Toronto games too.
Yeah, for sure. I think even for myself, like this one is tough to be able to kind of decide on, because I think kind of echoing what you all been saying about Guardians. The thing about Marvel games that we've had so far is that it could either come into two camps. It could either be a Marvel Spider-Man, or it could be a Marvel's Avengers. And you could probably tell kind of like there's definitely a spectrum of opinions on either or. And when Guardians was kind of coming, like was about to be coming out, we had no idea what this game was going to be until we actually got our hands on it. And I would probably will have to say that was probably, that's why I'm kind of like, this is the big surprise of the year, because I did not expect to be able to enjoy it as much as I did. And the fact that it's like, it is Eidos Montreal working on it, so they had the pedigree of working on Shadow of the Tomb Raider previously. I think they did Shadow. They did Shadow, or did they do Rise? Like they did Shadow. Okay, yeah. So there is that. Of course, Far Cry 6. Like it probably, I will say. I mean, this again, just maybe my opinion. I don't know if you folks kind of share this opinion, but the best of the Far Cry series, I think, even like as close as it can to Far Cry 3, because I know everyone loves Far Cry 3 and for sure.
I'm on board with that.
You were teetering on the edge there, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Anyone going up against Giancarlo Esposito, that's hard to that's hard to top. So I'm just saying. But I like it just kind of it really kind of goes to show like how much care can be put into these games, and I was very happy to be able to jump in and play this game as well. So I would probably have to say, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to throw my hat in the ring for Guardians of the Galaxy for best console game as well. Now we don't have a huge amount of time left. I think we're about halfway through, about just a little bit less than halfway through our time left. So we have a few minutes left before we actually get to know some of these who actually is going to win these awards. So you know what? Let us jump into the last kind of the big three categories of the year. Let's talk about Studio of the Year. We have Ubisoft Toronto, we have EA Sports, Motive Studios, Relic Entertainment, and Ubisoft Montreal. Big powerhouses in their own right, 1000%. Definitely made some amazing games this past year. Yep. What are your thoughts, panel, on Studio of the Year?
One thing I want to jump in and just kind of acknowledge right off the top is the diversity of locations. I mean, Canada, when you look at the gaming industry, obviously you can look at the three major hubs being Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal / Quebec, like that general area. And I mean, we have that right here in this category. So to me, it is really hard to kind of nail down the best studio of the year. It all comes down to the culture, the end product, what they're doing for their, staffing and everything. But I mean, when you look at just what they produced last year, I kind of want to give it to Ubisoft Toronto. Yeah. I am a little, of course, everyone out there, I'm a little biased. In Toronto, so Toronto, yeah, exactly. But in terms of Far Cry 6, again, I think we are all on the same page. It was a very well-produced game. It was a very well put together AAA blockbuster that we all got to live in and experience, and they came out swinging. So I kind of got to give them props for that.
I mean, yeah, when you have Esposito during your game, it's kind of like kills the performance. It just makes you feel threatened by him, which you know he's doing a good job while you're playing the game.
He's just so scary.
He does it so well,
He's
but
so good at it.
also the writing of his character and like just how they kind of introduce it and set it all up. I really enjoyed Far Cry as well, so maybe a little because we live in Toronto, but I'm going with Ubisoft Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to kind of how tough a category like this is going to be, because every studio you mentioned there that's been nominated is certainly deserving of an award. And yeah, I mean, to continue to the trend, like we live in Toronto, like it's hard for us not to look at an accomplishment like what Ubisoft Toronto had done with Far Cry 6 and not consider that to be something for them to be awarded for. And yeah, I mean, Giancarlo Esposito, like, just commanding presence. He is so intimidating, and it doesn't matter what he's in. I know that some people are like, oh, he's kind of been typecast as a villain. He does it so well. It's for good reason.
Yes.
That he's a villain in, like, pretty much everything you see him in. It's because there is nobody that chews up the scenery like Giancarlo Esposito does. And yeah, Far Cry 6 certainly put that on full display. And it's also kind of something where, you know, when you see him in a movie, it's a very condensed amount of time that you can get so much out of him. Obviously, in something like Breaking Bad, it's where we really got to see him as an actor, like, live and breathe. So for him to have more time like that again in Far Cry 6, for it to be a very expanded game where there are several moments that you get to interact or get to see the perspective of his character, there's just a ton of nuance that you get out of his performance through that. So just it's a great game, and they're a great studio, certainly deserving of this this award.
I would say, yeah, I would agree with you in that it's like it is, because that's the thing. It's like, of course, it's Giancarlo Esposito's performance, and again, yeah, he is nominated for best performance as well. Like which basically it's like, I'm just gonna say it now. We should just give him the award. Just you know, we don't even need to say anything. Just give him the award. But I mean, there's the thing. It's like but it really comes down to, it is a team effort to be able to kind of bring his performance to life, because not only did they have to record a chunk of his performance in a pandemic, but they had to motion capture, they had to record his facial animations, and that is more than just Giancarlo Esposito as the performer himself. That comes down to the animation artists, the motion captured folks, the director, every person that had to basically touch every single pore and hair on Giancarlo Esposito's head to make sure that it is the most authentically like as close to his performance as possible. Right. That says it in of itself, and to have like a pedigree of Esposito in this game is like, that just kind of like elevates it in and of itself. And with a series of Far Cry where the Far Cry is known for its villains, you can't, like in the past several years, you can't get any better than having him on there. However, that's where I kind of would agree with you. However, I'm going to throw a tiny little curveball in here, and I'm going to say my favorite studio of the year was Motive Studios. Because if you remember, if you may not think, okay, wait, what did they work on last year? They worked on Star Wars Squadrons.
Yep. Yes.
And my God, I loved that game. It was exactly like how I remember playing in my X-Wing as a kid. I absolutely had a blast. And let me tell you, if you've never played Star Wars Squadrons in VR,
it's really something.
Oh my God, it is so amazing. I highly encourage, if you have access to a VR headset and you can be able to play this, I definitely recommend it in and of itself. And of course, I mean, but there's also the Toronto connection, because Motive Studios, much like Ubisoft Toronto, was founded by Jade Raymond. So we got that going for us as well. So that's going to be
tying it all back.
Yeah, of course we're going to tie it all back. So that's going to be my studio of the year. But speaking of studio of the year, let's move along to game of the year. It's one of the biggest categories. Like, of course, this represents the best game made in Canada that we've got. And the nominees we have here are FIFA 2022, Far Cry 6, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Echo Generation, and I'm so glad this is on this list, Boyfriend Dungeon.
What
are your thoughts?
I feel like to me, it's kind of a no-brainer here with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, although, you know, Far Cry is definitely very close. And Boyfriend Dungeon as well, also a really great game. But Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, for that level of quality to that game and bringing a different perspective to how to approach a superhero game, which is a huge risk, by the way, to not go based on the character models that are known in the MCU, to not go based on the storylines that are already known there. It takes a lot of convincing, I feel like, as a gamer, to really accept that type of narrative, and they do it so seamlessly while making you feel all the different emotions and taking you on the ride. And that's why it's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
Yeah, there's just so much that you learn about these characters throughout the entire journey. They feel so unique. They feel so individual. Guardians of the Galaxy for me, like, the more that I think about it, the more that I like realize how much I love it. And you know, if we're talking about that tipping scale, it's certainly in the upper echelon of superhero video games. And so, I cannot praise it enough. But to be honest, all the nominees here are well deserving of being listed as potential game of the year. FIFA 2022, I love my sports games. You know, I have a blast. Me and my brother, that's like one of the best kind of couch co-op games that I could play, is something like a FIFA. Far Cry 6 we've talked a ton about as well, you know, specifically about Giancarlo Esposito's performance, but also just the world, the gameplay. I mean, the dog, Chorizo, like the best, the absolute best. You know, Echo Generation, visually a really stunning looking game, and then Boyfriend Dungeon. Again, I'm glad it's in there. You know, that's another fun one. But for me, I feel like this is one that I would love to see Guardians of the Galaxy take it, just for the recognition, for kind of the sheer brilliance of the game, and for kind of the tall task that Eidos Montreal must have had when creating this game. They had big shoes to fill to try and do something that was different, but also something that felt familiar. And I think they nailed it. Like, top to bottom, they nailed it.
Yeah, going through this list, it's definitely hard to just single out one, because again, going back to the top of the show, the fact that all of these games came out during the throes of a pandemic, not even like at the start of it, but in the middle. I mean, we're still, you know, kind of grasping what a pandemic, or living and working in a pandemic is. But the fact that all of these came out, the fact that we all got to play them, nothing short of incredible. But yeah, we've already talked about Far Cry 6, an incredible world to explore, incredible villains, characters to kind of discover. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, another game that you can just praise just for the fact that it adapted and created its own lore, its own world based on pre-established characters and stuff that people have been following for years. That's a hard task. So Eidos Montreal definitely gets praise for that. But to me, the game that really surprised me was Echo Generation. This game, Caboose, you already talked about it, but the visuals, this voxel style pixel art style is incredible. Like, you just look at this and you're like, man, I want visual dioramas all over the place in my apartment, just to, you know, of this. And the simple fact that this game is a turn-based game and I liked it is what sold me on it. I do not like turn-based games. You can't sell me on a Final Fantasy game. Even Pokemon is a little too much like, okay, it gets a little samey. Echo Generation made that fun, and to me, mix that in with some Stranger Things elements, that nostalgic, you know, 80, 90 vibe to it. I fell in love with this game for the simple fact that this was made by an indie studio going up against some of these high AAA studios is really cool to see. So shout out Coco Cucumber, another, I guess, Toronto-based studio. So my bias is showing again, I guess. But Sailor, what about you?
I think, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Let's just go with let's go with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. But I mean, I would not be upset if basically the game where you could date your sword, gets a nod here for Game of the Year because that was tons of fun too. But we're gonna find out in a few minutes whether or not our predictions or our guesses were correct, because we're gonna be jumping into in just seconds to our official 2022 Canadian Game Awards. I want to thank my fellow friends here, my fellow co-hosts. Let's go around the table. Like, where can quickly we able to find out where you are? Camille, where can we be able to find you?
I'll be tweeting about the Game Awards as I watch it at This Is Camco.
Steve?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at @svigvari, and you can also find all of us on Squad every Thursday.
That's right. You can find me Twitter and Instagram at CabooseEK. I'll certainly be talking about how I was snubbed for Content Creator of the Year. Very much looking forward to the Canadian Game Awards, though, and you can find me youtube.com/Caboose.
And I'll be joining you in that party there, Caboose. You can follow me at Steve Saylor on Twitter or Blind Gamer Steve on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching, and let's jump in to the 2022 Canadian Game Awards.
Welcome to the 2022 Canadian Game Awards. I'm Marissa Roberto, and I will be your host tonight as we celebrate another year of achievement and excellence in Canadian gaming. We want to start by thanking our wonderful sponsors. You'll see highlights for each of them later in the show. Most of all, we want to thank you, the incredible community of Canadian gamers. Gamers are the beating heart of this industry, the players, the developers, the creators, the pros. It's who we do this for. And I hope everyone in the community enjoys the show and cheers on the nominees as we celebrate the wonderful gaming community of Canada. For the next hour, we will be highlighting the 3 pillars of the Canadian game industry: game developers, content creators, and esports. Talented people work in every facet of this industry, and together they create some of the best games and gaming content in the world. Canada is also home to a fiercely competitive esports scene that continues to grow, with Canadian players making their mark on stages both at home and abroad. As the world comes to grips with many real and pressing issues, we are grateful to the creative and dedicated people in the Canadian game industry who help us keep pushing forward and make every day just a bit brighter. Tonight is about them. All right, we have a lot of trailers and spotlights ahead of us and a bunch of awards to give out, so let's get into it. We begin this year's Canadian Game Awards with the nominees for Best Art Direction. Art direction is a key component needed to define the visual style and essence of a game. Talented art directors happen to decide not just how a game looks, but how it is experienced by the players. Art direction is a discipline that continues to grow and evolve, and we are thrilled to celebrate the Canadians who keep expanding its frontiers. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Art Direction are:
Best Art Direction, Far Cry 6.
Here, guerrillas live,
Kaboom!
train, and plan.
Witchwood, Clan O'Connell and the Crown of the Stag. Age of Empires 4. Winds and Leaves. And the award goes to Witchwood.
Hi, my name is Ariane Laurence.
And I'm Jesse McGibney. We're the artists, writers, and animators on Witchwood.
We're very excited to accept the award for Best Art Direction and would like to thank everybody who's played and enjoyed our game.
We share this award with the rest of the Witchwood team: Lee, Kate, Graham, Liam, Berkeley, Nick, Michael, Donovan, and Ryan, and our publishers at Whitethorn Games.
We'd also like to thank our friends and family for supporting us through the development of Witchwood. It means a great deal to us.
Thanks, everyone. We hope to keep making beautiful and amazing games.
See you next time.
Hello everyone, my name is Sierra Dawn and I'm here to announce the 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Game Design. Game design is the core of all game development and the coordinate where all other aspects of game creation meet. It's the area of game development that's always pushing boundaries and innovating. At its base, game design is the science of creating fun, and when done right, it has the power to bring people together and create unforgettable experiences. And that's worth celebrating. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Game Design are
Best Game Design, Far Cry 6,
Market dealers. These safe havens got everything a guerrilla needs. Even do-it-yourself vehicles.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Moonglow Bay, Lego Star Wars Castaways, Inscription, and the award goes to Inscription.
Hey, I just want to say a really big thanks for everyone who played the game. Thanks to everyone who helped me make it. Thanks to Devolver for publishing it. QA teams who helped make it good. The beta testers. Really, it was a group effort, and really thank you so much for everything you've done. And thanks so much for the award. Cheers.
Best Score Soundtrack, Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour, Viking Age, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Empires 4, Echo Generation, The Big Con, and the award goes to Age of Empires 4.
Hey everyone, I'm Aaron Kos, aka Caboose, and I'm here to present this year's Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Performance. In many great games, the characters often end up bigger than the story itself. They are who we identify with and who we remember when the game is over. It takes great talent and empathy to embody a character with a convincing performance. The next people that we have nominated in this category have managed to do exactly that. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Performance are
Best Performance, Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo,
4 million Americans worth $3.5 billion. The number one asset in your economy was people who look like me. What is that called?
A history lesson?
A head start.
John McLaren as Star-Lord, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
My mom, when the Shatari came, she also died for no reason.
Alex Weiner as Rocket, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Come on, guys! We're a team! Let's all work together! Blah, 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 flark and blah!
Jack Black as Mote of Light, Psychonauts 2.
Sorry. Oh, you. Sorry, I just haven't talked in such a long time. Oh my gosh, is that my voice? Is that what I sound like? What do you sound like? Oh my gosh, who are you? Are you not me?
Dominic Monaghan, Dark Threads.
Now, you're probably wondering at this point, am I on drugs? And yes, you are on drugs. It's a drug called genius.
And the award goes to Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo.
Hello. Unfortunately, I am not Giancarlo Esposito, but I'm here to accept this award on his behalf. As the narrative director on Far Cry 6, it was an incredible experience to see Giancarlo bring Anton Castillo to life. From our very first meeting, he understood the character and Anton's complexities implicitly. He could switch from charismatic and charming one minute to absolutely terrifying the next. And his portrayal of Anton's relationship with his son Diego made you empathize with him as a father, not just a dictator. His performance elevated the narrative in the best way possible, and we're so proud to have it recognized at the CGAs. On behalf of Giancarlo and the entire Far Cry 6 team, thank you.
We spoke of how important performers are, but the narrative is the canvas on which individual performances are painted. In this next category, we highlight the best game narrative created by Canadian writers. It's not easy to make good stories, and as games mature as a medium and storytelling platform, it takes more effort and care to craft the stories that are meaningful and moving. With this award, we celebrate narrative games that have the power to not only transport us to different worlds, but also to generate discourse in our own. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Narrative are
Best Narrative. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
5,000 units to the Hellraiser who kills these so-called Guardians of the Galaxy.
We got this.
Moonglow Bay. Witchwood. Boyfriend Dungeon.
Careful, don't tickle my hilt.
Echo Generation. And the award goes to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Mary DeMauro, Executive Narrative Director at Eidos Montreal. On behalf of the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy writing team, I am honored to be accepting the award for Best Narrative at the 2022 Canadian Game Awards. Working in Canada on this game has been the high point of many of our careers, something we will truly never forget. But we couldn't have done it without the support of so many other incredibly talented people. From Bill Roseman and the team at Marvel Game Studios, to our incredible cast who brought these characters to life in ways our words never could, to the artists, animators, programmers, designers, testers, musicians, all of whom poured their hearts and souls and talents into making this game the best that it could possibly be. Thank you everyone for supporting us in this, and thank you Canadian Game Awards for this amazing honor.
Best Audio Design. The Veil, Shadow of the Crown.
From one second born to another, it's not an easy thing being in someone's shadow.
I like the shadows. You hear more honesty there.
You will make a wise lady.
Echo Generation. Chivalry 2, Age of Empires 4, Lego Star Wars Castaways, and the award goes to The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. Best Esports Player. Tyson Tens No. Alex Scurry Scala. Jasmine Jazzikins Menenkill.
Oh my god.
Wait, behind me. What?
Russell Twists Van Dulken.
Pressure is on you now. The fate of FaZe resides on Twist, and he's not crumbling under the pressure. Oh, on for the ace, and he's going to take down 5 to keep it alive for FaZe Clan.
Myrna Norelden.
No way.
And the award goes to Russell Twists Van Dulken.
Hey everyone, I'm Nathaniel Brahani, and I'm here to present the 2022 Canadian Game Awards for Best Esports Host. There is nothing quite like the spectacle of professional esports athletes clashing on stage, demonstrating incredible skill and dedication, all for the sake of victory and the passion for their game. The stories of high-level competitive players are remarkable and complex, and it's the job of esports hosts to translate it so that fans can understand them and connect with them better. Canadian esports hosts demonstrate great knowledge, heart, and talent, and we want to celebrate them with this next award. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Esports Host are
Best Esports Host. Alex Vansili Nguyen.
And he's not even going for that spike. The barrel sticks out. He's in a great position now for the upper hand. Goes for the spray, the dink, the re-peek from Roka, and he wins it with the wallbang himself.
Parker Intero McKay.
Feeling of honor and of privilege to be one of these people celebrated at the Invitational. It's surreal.
Brody Leafex Moore.
Playoff scenarios, he's going to be, yeah, I found that out too. There's sugar in these carrots. Sugar carrots. This is
Camille Kemko Salazar Hadaway.
Now you're repping the city, which means you're repping the country, the only team from Canada. Let's put you to the test. Are you ready?
No.
Connor Scrawny Gervin.
Let's go, baby. No problem.
Math.
We did something right.
NA education.
NA education, baby. Where's the Baltics? Who knows? How much money we got? We always know, baby.
Yes, sir.
And the award goes to Parker Intero McKay.
Hey everyone, I'm Ravish Khanna, and our next award recognizes the best esports organizations in Canada. Esports always starts at the community level and grows with the passion of talented and entrepreneurial players and community builders. Canada has a strong emerging esports scene formed around organizations that cultivate talent in their communities, build legacies, and give that back. This award is for the 2022 Canadian Game Awards for Best Esports Organizations. The nominees are
Best Esports Organization. Overactive Media.
I feel free, so free.
Luminosity Gaming.
2021 added an incredible handful of new talent and competitors to the Luminosity roster. We were able to do some amazing things with our team, and we're excited to see what content we can make for you guys in 2022.
Parabellum Esports.
Parabellum Esports is one of the top up-and-coming teams out of North America, and the best part is, they're from Canada.
As underdogs, we could play against the best.
It's just this one cohesive unit.
Lazarus.
Hello there.
Oh, that one just spawned in my face. What was that?
Connor, to the goal. Connor. Bang!
I hear it, but I can't see it. Oh, I think I just killed him.
Mirage Esports.
Not get relegated, bro.
Mirage on three, boys. Mirage on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And the award goes to Luminosity Gaming. Best Esports Event. Jack Link's $100,000 Canada Cup powered by Toronto Ultra.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Jack Link's 100K Canada Cup.
I think you just spotted the final guy from that squad.
Nice shot.
Red Bull Campus Clutch Canada National Finals.
Let's go.
Pinnacle 2021. Bell Esports Challenge.
I'm very excited to see how they play with the advantage. Ramen there, just sneaking this one.
We need to start pushing in towards site. Only 20 seconds left saved.
Vegan. This guy's insane.
Get on My Line 2021. And the award goes to Red Bull Campus Clutch Canada National Finals. Best Esports Coach. Kyle Ocean O'Brien.
Other guys late mid.
Oh! Thomas Trippy Shappy.
Obviously, there's always going to be new characters, new ideas, and different styles on how to play the game. And I think if you lock yourself into a certain way of thinking, you're not enabling yourself to play the best that you can or your team.
Joshua Jat Leesman.
Definitely a little bit of ego in like wanting to try, because there's sitting on the sidelines and criticizing, or sitting on the sidelines and cheering, and it's another thing to actually be like, can I make a difference?
Raymond Rambo Lussier.
We are here with the legend Optic Rambo and Melanie. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. It's excited to be here. I think I'm presenting something tonight, so I'm excited for that. I'm a little nervous about it, but it's gonna be fun.
Gabriel Invert Zoltan Johan.
I believe it was the great mid/support Gandalf the Grey that said, "A support is never late, dear viewer, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to."
And the award goes to Raymond Rambo Lussier.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of like half Viking. Yeah.
So, this is where it all began. Your journey as game developers.
Who are you?
Let's just say I've seen your future. Follow me. Welcome to Xsolla, accelerating game commerce globally. Powered by the Xsolla transaction and business engines. We gave you the building blocks to go from being an unknown player to taking your place among these guys, some of the biggest games on the planet. Now let's see what we mean by acceleration. How do you like your new digs? Xsolla's best-in-class pay station and anti-fraud protection lets you accept payments around the world securely in almost every currency, paving the way for your game to become a global hit. Your players were able to set up subscriptions, putting payments on autopilot and facilitating consistent revenue stream. Xsolla provided you with the tools to take your vision and turn it into this. Thanks to our network of influencers, people around the world are buzzing about your game. With Xsolla, there's nothing that can stand in the way of your dreams becoming a reality.
Hi everyone, I am Steve Saylor, and I am here to present the award for Best Content Creator or Show at the 2022 Canadian Game Awards. Over the past 2 decades, we have seen games change the landscape of entertainment and transcend from a niche hobby to an art form that has the power to influence other art and affect our culture. And that wouldn't be possible without the incredible work of talented content creators. Content creators are a point of connection between the players and the medium, exploring not just games, but also the industry, culture, and talent behind games. They dissect tough subjects and important issues through a socially conscious perspective. They make us laugh, they make us think, and they help us celebrate our shared hobby. So let's celebrate them. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Content Creator or Show are
Best Content Creator Show. Nick Amiuni.
Hey everyone, it is Nick A30 here, and there are currently 100 players down there if you can see them. They're all going into the grotto to hide, and I am going to be the only person who can hunt them down. It's 100 player hide and seeks on the west side of the map, Covert Cavern. There's 1 entrance, 2 entrance, 3.
Autumn Rhodes.
Could have been something nice, like, hey, Garrett.
I like carrots! Hey. Carrots are great. They're good for your eyes, you know? It was a compliment. Please put me down.
Okay, you insist.
No!
Evan Fong.
Why is there now there's a hand reaching up towards me.
I have eyeballs looking at me from my gun.
Johnny Millennium. Happy console gamer.
And we got a small update to Final Fantasy VII Remake. We got Integrate this year, and playing that side game was something that I really enjoyed because, my God, I will say this, on the PS5, with the upgrade they did, the graphics were stunning.
Andre Rebello.
This is crazy.
And get that looper ready. We don't have much time.
Oh!
You again?
I'm the looper! The winner can wait up!
And the award goes to Evan Fong.
Hey everyone, I am Austin Neal, here to present the award for Best Streamer. In 2022, streaming is no longer an emerging form of entertainment. It is the most popular and well-established outlet for gaming content. Streamers are champions of gaming communities, entertaining and engaging gaming communities around the world every day. and serving as the premier advertising arm of the gaming industry. With our next award, we recognize Canadian talent in game streaming. The 2022 Canadian Game Awards nominees for Best Streamer are
Best Streamer: Michael Shroud-Zezek.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Iman Pokimane Anis.
Do you feel bad for her?
Oh my god, I have some! I have a window literally right beside me. That's why that like freaks me out so much, because I think someone is literally coming to kill me.
Felix XQC Lengiel.
Man, this. Oh my god. I'm gonna get down.
Jeremy Disguised Toast Wang.
Oh no, Peter, don't do it! Peter, don't do it!
Damn. Oh, Peter and Toast. I was giving you special treatment, Leslie.
Danny Shifter Lee.
Where's that? What is that? Oh, is that? How do I hit it? How do I do I just throw my Pokeball?
And the award goes to Iman Pokimane Anis.
Next up is the award for Best Personality. Gaming is first and foremost a people industry. It's about the connections and shared stories we all create. From content creators to streamers to developers, pro players, and team owners, the Canadian gaming scene has no shortage of characters. With this award, we honor the gaming personalities who bring together communities and who champion our shared passion. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Best Personality are
Best Personality: Stephanie Miss Harvey Harvey.
Pick me. Little beach.
Camille Kemko Salazar Hadaway.
Define waist ute.
Waist ute.
Waist ute? Yeah. Do you want me to use it in a sentence? Yeah, please. Yo, Brev, that man's a waist ute.
Autumn Rhodes.
I don't want to take your chickens or your bars of soap. Oh my god. Oh my. Nah.
Jeremy Disguised Toast Wang.
I was gonna say, I saw Toast near the body too, but it looked like he just...
What? I'm on vitals the whole time.
He's not on vitals the whole time because I just found the body and weapons. I literally just finished my task that I wanted to do in specimen.
Iman Pokimane Anis.
Okay, but Kumar, can you do this?
And the award goes to Stephanie Miss Harvey Harvey. Best PC Game: Age of Empires 4. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guys, huddle up! We'll win this together. Hit the music!
Inscription. Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour Viking Age.
The unique aspect of Discovery Tour Viking Age is that it's a role-playing game that has no conflict. It's really meant for you to immerse yourself, to to have fun, and at the same time, to learn about the era.
And the award goes to Age of Empires 4. Best Console Game. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Far Cry 6.
The bloodthirsty jungles, postcard shorelines, the dead-end towns, and our friendly capital city.
FIFA 22. Echo Generation. Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour, Viking Age.
For the first time in the franchise, the experience is driven by an engaging narrative throughline, structured around 8 quests, full of familiar faces.
And the award goes to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Best Mobile Game. Lego Star Wars Castaways. Goose Goose Duck.
Someone just killed me in front of everyone.
It's kind of sus that you two, the white lily.
Alright, somebody's gonna die.
That's cool. Big Neon Tower versus Tiny Square. Hotel Hermes. Grindstone. RuPaul's Drag Race Superstar. And the award goes to Lego Star Wars Castaways. Best VR AR Game. Doom 3 VR. Dark Threads. Winds and Leaves. Arcadia.tv.
Levels are there. Oh, this is going to be so cool.
Pistol Whip, Smoke and Thunder.
This ends only one way, with smoke and thunder. For Brave New West, the Heat Seeker strikes tonight!
And the award goes to Pistol Whip, Smoke and Thunder.
So as you may know, we had our first Northern Arena event this weekend.
It was exciting to come here and be at the tournament. One of the first big tournaments we've ever been to in Canada. Thanks to Northern Arena.
You know, there's a lot more to come. Introducing Northern Arena.
Hello, and welcome to Squad, your source for everything gaming.
We are about to go to the 6th Invitational.
Welcome to a new Squadcast.
Let's get into the game. Are you ready for the rematch of the century?
3 seconds remaining. He's got to get it on it. Oh, they score! Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the world of Fortnite.
You've got to perform at your highest caliber of competition.
Rocket League honestly is about community. Since the very beginning.
He's the prolific coach, the world champion himself.
Oh, here it goes.
Put 2K on it. Put your bank account on it. Yeah.
Welcome back to Northern Arena's Mortal Kombat Clash.
It's going to be Optic Gaming takes it and your Northern Arena Montreal champions.
Places like this, and with big crowds especially, it's awesome for everyone.
That's it! The Seattle Entourage are your Northern Arena EA NHL 20 Cup champions. This is Rocket League!
But Stewie's to the smoke! What is this? Stewie is incredible! Squishy's like, I'm not done! This one's for the fans! Boom! Bristini manages to do it for E United!
You have sore forearms, I'm assuming from gaming too much?
And he gets the headshot! It's the ace!
Oh my goodness! Unbelievable!
Canada has a vibrant game industry that continues to expand with incredible talent that is both homegrown and imported from abroad. People come to Canada from all over the world to join a game development scene that is known for collaboration, quality, and continued growth. This talent-rich environment supports many great studios, and with this next award, it highlights the most accomplished studios among them. The 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for Studio of the Year are
Studio of the Year, Ubisoft, Toronto. EA Sports. Motive Studios.
One word I would use to describe Motive is passion.
Enthusiasm, I would say. Enthusiasm.
Very inclusive.
Spicy.
I'd say collaborative.
Relic Entertainment. Ubisoft, Montreal. And the award goes to Ubisoft, Toronto.
Thank you so much for this recognition. This award truly is a testament to all of the tremendously driven people at Ubisoft Toronto. I've been at the studio for just over a year now. We've already been through a lot together, and it hasn't always been easy. But we've been facing all these challenges with courage, and have had some remarkable accomplishments. I'm very proud of the energy, drive, and resilience the Far Cry 6 team showed to ship a great game last October. I'm also very impressed with the ways we've supported one another when circumstances were tough. And I'm delighted to see how eager the team is to get involved and support the game development ecosystem and the wider community through initiatives such as Hack the ROM, Next, the Black Youth Action Plan, and Indie Series, to name just a few. We're also working on some seriously cool new projects, including the Splinter Cell remake. More broadly, we're carefully considering what we want to build and how we want to build it, from the games and studio culture to the way we can positively impact the local community. I'm super excited for you to see what we have in store over the next few years, and I'm thrilled to work alongside such driven people. On behalf of Ubisoft Toronto, thank you very, very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway,
and last night I had the honor to present the first ever Canadian Indie Game Awards. It was wonderful to be able to give indie game development its own spotlight on its own platform alongside the more mainstream side of the industry. Indies are often considered secondary to the core gaming market, more niche, more about art than fun. The reality is, indie games are the soul of the industry. Independent developers are essential for driving innovation across the entire industry. And the Canadian indie scene is incredibly diverse and has some of the most talented and original creators in the industry. With that in mind, it is my pleasure to present the 2022 Canadian Game Awards nominees for Best Indie Game. The nominees are
Best Indie Game, Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, Echo Generation, Moonglow Bay, The Big Con,
The Big Con. Give me my bag. The Big Con. Give me my bag. Give me my bag.
and the award goes to Echo Generation.
Thank you to the Canadian Game Awards Selection Committee and judges for selecting Echo Generation. It's an incredible honor to be recognized by this award for Best Indie Game of the Year. None of this would be possible without many people supporting and believing in this project, starting with Vanessa Chia, co-founder of Coco Cucumber and producer of Echo Generation. Thank you, you're amazing. Thanks to the team at Coco Cucumber for their passion and dedication to this project. Every day it was an honor to work with all of you exploring this world of monsters and mysteries. I also would like to thank the Canada Media Fund and Ontario Creates. Without their support, Echo Generation would simply not have been possible. And finally, a big thank you to Microsoft, Xbox, and ID at Xbox for your encouragement, enthusiasm, and support. Special thanks to Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Chris Trala, Glenn Gregory, James Lewis, and Peter Lee. Echo Generation was inspired by our childhood, growing up and trying to figure out where is the frontier between reality and our imagination. I would like to dedicate this award to our fans and their family. We've been overwhelmed by your support. Thank you for walking this journey with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Hilchey, and tonight I have the honor to present the 2022 Canadian Game Awards Game of the Year Award. The most prestigious title goes to the most accomplished game produced by Canadian developers in the past year, and we have some great contenders to present. Each of the nominated games embodies the qualities that we celebrate with the Canadian Game Awards: great storytelling, design, and quality of production. Without games of singular quality, games that push the envelope and inspire others to excel, the Canadian game industry wouldn't exist in the way that it does today, and it certainly wouldn't grow. The three pillars of the Canadian game industry, developers, content creators, and esports, which you can see on the award itself, are all supported by the exceptional games nominated for this award. Without further ado, the 2022 Canadian Game Award nominees for the Game of the Year are
Game of the Year, Far Cry 6,
How you get around is up to you.
Good girl.
If you want to play it safe, take our secret paths carved in the dirt of old revolutions. Hola, Dani.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy,
Rejoice! You made it just in time for the miracle.
Oh, you tracks!
Echo Generation. Boyfriend Dungeon. FIFA 22. And the award goes to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hello, my name is Jean-François Dugas. I'm the Senior Creative Director on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Today it's a real honor to accept the award for Best Game of the Year. And when I look at all the talent across Canada, it's even more amazing that we managed to pull this off. So we didn't pull it off alone. Thank you, the team. You've been incredible. You worked hard and you made this game possible. I also want to thank the people at Marvel who have been incredible to help us achieve our vision. And I also want to thank finally, and most importantly, all the fans across Canada and the world, that you've been amazing. Your passion and the love that you sent to us was incredible, and actually it's the best reward you can wish for. Thank you very much.
Fans' Choice Award. Goose Goose Duck.
Are we hiding here?
Yes. I never realized.
Oh, they're all there. They're all there. They can't survive a minute. They have to split up.
Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Chivalry 2. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Super Animal Royale.
It's the Super Animal Royale, where 64 fearsome birds, beasts, and whatever this is, fight and claw and AK-47 their way to the top of the food chain.
And the award goes to Super Animal Royale.
That's it for the 2022 Canadian Game Awards. We'd like to thank our sponsors again, and thank you for hanging out with us tonight, helping us celebrate excellence in the Canadian gaming industry. Congratulations to all of the winners. We hope to see you all again next year for the 2023 Canadian Game Awards and Indie Awards. Thank you again. I'm Marissa Roberto, and it's been my absolute pleasure to be your host this evening. Good night.